Hey everyone, welcome back to the Craft Parenting Podcast, the podcast about two Cincinnati craft beer lovers with a parenting problem.
I mean, right now it's not so much a parenting problem as it is pest control companies knocking on our doors, and then we find pests in our house that we've never found before. I mean, it's just ants, but pest control companies, grr. I have a podcast that I listen to that does a dirty look of the week. And my dirty look of the week is at pest control companies that knock on my door, even though they're not supposed to.
Because in Green Township, good old Green Township.
Because in West Side, we have no soliciting policies if you're part of a list, and we are part of that list.
Yeah, don't knock on our door, dude.
Please leave us alone.
And the guy argued with me. I'm like, do you know that we are on a no soliciting list? And he's like, oh, I'm like, no, dude. Get off my lawn.
I do feel like an old person, but I'm also like, please get off my property. I don't want to have to talk with you.
Why would anyone agree to just some random dude saying, you want me to pour chemicals in your yard?
I don't know. Because that's like for sure a company that I would be like, hey, I'm going to talk to 5 people that I know have used you before I even think about using you. Because how can I trust them? So yeah, the kids aren't the problem. The dogs aren't the problem. Random people knocking on my door. Go away, please.
Well, thank you so much for being here. My name is Joe Ledwig, and that voice that you hear is my lovely wife and co-host, Caroline. I think we already know how it's going. You just gave a rant about ants and...
I gave a dirty look of the week, and that isn't even one of our segments.
No, I think, is that copyrighted? Are we going to get in trouble?
I don't think so. I don't think they know how to copyright it, so we're fine.
We have another great show planned out this week. Caroline, you are leaving me.
I am abandoning you for two evenings.
For 2 nights.
2 nights.
You will not be here.
I am going to be miserable in a king-size bed all to myself. But I'm going to be up in Cleveland, and not even like the good part of Cleveland, like the Batavia of Cleveland, because I'm so far away from all of the breweries, and I won't have a car, and I'm already getting bummed about that. But I have Uber on my phone again, so I can always Uber somewhere, and I might do that.
You're going to go somewhere by yourself?
I don't know. We'll see.
This episode is going to be about strategies for holding down the fort while your spouse is away.
As long as the kids are relatively happy, the dogs don't look malnourished, and the house is still standing, I'll be happy when I walk in the door on Thursday.
Yeah, and I want to clarify what that means.
Mm-hmm.
So this is not your spouse is leaving for a few hours, although that could be technically holding down the fort. That is not the theme for this week's episode. This is the spouse is on a business trip for a few days out of the city, or, staying somewhere at a conference center or something to that effect.
For the record, you did this to me with Lily when she was like 3 months old. So.
Yeah, and I came home and she had to go to the hospital.
Because she was sick. But she got sick before you left. So, that was a ride. That was a ride that I wanted to get off of.
And of course, since our situation is we have 2 people in our household, we're obviously talking about households with 2 people.
Yes, we do lots of man-to-man coverage. There's occasional zone defense. Usually it's man-to-man coverage.
So this week's episode will be a pep talk to me.
You got this. You can do this. Hang in there, cat on branch.
And I'll be my 12-step plan. Is it actually 12 steps?
I haven't read that far down the dock yet.
It is actually 12 steps.
Oh my goodness. We gotta hurry up because I need to get to bed at a decent hour. So, Joe, I noticed you have an adult beverage in front of you. But before you talk about that, I'm going to talk about the adult beverage that I just finished, which is a 50 West Hard Lemonade, which is 5% ABV, and it's hard lemonade beer with natural flavors. It is so good. It is so dangerous because I do not taste any of the alcohol at all. It just straight up tastes like lemonade. I'm already figuring out if I can make bourbon slushes or cold toddies with this.
Instead of a hot toddy.
Instead of a hot toddy, yeah. That'd be a benefit to getting sick right now, is I just make a bunch of toddies with this and just get super messed up.
Well, I mean, I suppose you could heat it up.
Yeah, I would like to drink all of these right now. It's really good lemonade that is also alcoholic.
It's 5%, right?
Yes, it's only 5%, so that's not so bad. But I have a new drink in front of me that looks a lot like your drink. So what we drinking?
So we went to Third Eye the other day, and we walked away with 3 crowlers. And this is crowler number 3. The other 2 are already gone. They didn't make it past Memorial Day.
Well, I mean, it's Memorial Day weekend, so gotta pour one out for our homies. It's just we're pouring it out into our bellies.
Yes. That is true. So this is Higher Purposed Stout by Third Eye Brewing. It is 6.3% ABV and 24 IBUs. And it was canned on 5/25/2022.
And we're recording this on 5:30.
Yeah, so
we drank these beers fast.
it's fresh beer. So I guess the Chef Beers crew would approve. But you have the description, which is the perfect balance of roasted malts. This stout is dark, sweet, and full-bodied. We use over 9 types of grain to steady the restrained roast and soft and creamy sweetness from lactose. Sorry, Marco. You cannot drink it looks like. Caramel, chocolate, and coffee flavors dominate the palate and aroma without crushing the senses. This award-winning beer is part of our do-good efforts, with a portion of the proceeds supporting the Live Like Maya Foundation. I don't know anything about that, but if you want more information, you can visit livelikemaya.org.
It's a funding initiative for pediatric cancer.
Oh, cool. So I guess we are supporting a charity and we didn't even know it. I'm really enjoying this one, though. I know if you follow me on Instagram that you would have seen me post about the Hefeweizen from Third Eye. That was crowler number 2 that we did. That was super good.
It was.
Unlike any Hefe that I've had in a while. It was very banana-y.
Well, yeah, I try to steer you more towards the clove Hefes because you're not a big fan of bananas. But it did taste very good with the banana pudding that we had this weekend.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, this stout is pretty good. I don't think we didn't get the milk stout, did we? It was just a normal one. Because they had 2 versions.
So the higher purpose is, I closed out it's a sweet milk stout. So it is milk stout. There was an oat stout and a milk stout. The oat stout was the one that you got. I think I got the milk stout as part of a flight. No, I didn't get a flight.
You got a flight the first time.
Yeah, I just got a milk. I just got this the last time we went.
I'm not getting the sweetness.
I mean, everything tastes sweet compared to that lemonade because lemonade was a little tart.
Yeah, that lemonade. I had some, and you're right, it doesn't taste anything like alcohol.
No, it does not.
But this stout, as you said it, the description said it was sweet. I don't get the sweet. It doesn't mean it's not good.
It's very, very balanced, though. It is so smooth and so delicious, and I am a big, huge fan. I would like all of this right now.
I will say, yes, I agree. It is very smooth. Looks like it lost some carbonation.
Yeah, it does look like it lost a little bit. That's a hazard of crowlers. You never really know how well they're going to fare, but it's still good nonetheless. And if you can, get out to Third Eye and get yourself some beer, because it's all good.
Now it is time for What's Bugging Caroline in Children's TV, where you, Caroline, tell us all about the lack of physics and logic in children's TV. So what is bugging you this week?
So eventually I'm going to start ranting on Barney because Lily's watching a lot of Barney lately and Elliot is a huge fan of Barney. But for now, it will be Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. But you have been warned. the Barney rants are coming. So in this episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, it's Mickey's Mousekercise because Pete the cat just wanted to nap all day, but the gang convinced him to exercise instead. And so Pete plays basketball, he goes running, he does all of these things, get him active and get his body moving so he feels all nice and limber, and he gets all these good endorphins running through him so he feels great. And that's good, but at the end of the day, this is Pete is going from being completely lazy to doing a lot of exercises in one day. Pete feels really awesome at the end of the day. And sure, happy hormones are a thing, but I'm pretty sure the end of your first day of doing a bunch of exercise, you're going to feel really, really exhausted. So maybe just cut to him taking a huge ass cat nap because he needs a huge cat nap. I mean, there's also lots of peer pressure in this episode, but it's positive peer pressure. So I guess it's okay. But yeah, I always get hesitant with peer pressure stuff. But then I'm at Girl Scouts. I'm well, if you're the only one that's not doing it, you look weird. But usually that's in relation to singing and doing motions with Girl Scout songs, not drugs. So positive peer pressure.
Are you saying that they're doing drugs?
No, I'm saying it's not drugs.
So it's probably okay.
Yeah, because it's positive peer pressure to get you out of your comfort zone and get you into being a more active person. But I still get hesitant with peer pressure stuff. Just say no to drugs, kids.
Alcohol's a drug.
We're over the age of 21, and it is delicious. I am an adult and can make my own stupid decisions. That's how this works.
All right. Is that everything?
That is everything.
On to the main topic of today's episode, which, as mentioned previously, is all about strategies for holding down the fort while the spouse is away. So, as previously mentioned, Caroline, you are going out of town for a work trip.
That is correct.
And that means I will be home alone with 2 kids and 2 dogs.
I don't know what that first word was you were going to say, but it's true.
I'm just going to move on. I will have to feed them, entertain them, put them to sleep, make sure they stay alive, which is a lot harder than it sounds, actually.
So the way I've heard it said in a TikTok, because TikTok knows everything, is your goal as a parent is to keep your child alive from when they wake up until when they go to bed. And you think, hey, that doesn't sound so hard, except they are actively trying to kill themselves throughout the day. So it's a very, very hard job. It's like you're trying to protect the president when the president just keeps running into traffic and large crowds of people with knives or something. Those are not actual things that your child will do. Well, your child might try to run into traffic. So yeah, it's hard, guys, but we love them.
So Caroline, you are actually leaving as of this podcast. You're leaving tomorrow.
Yep, my bag is all packed.
For a couple of days. So this will serve as advice or as a pep talk for myself.
You can do it.
So both Caroline and I, we have specific, quote, chores. I don't know if that's the right word, but
tasks,
responsibilities that we do each day, at each point of the day, whether it is taking care of the kids, making meals, bath time, or bedtime. And we basically split these responsibilities 50-50.
So you gave the kids a bath last, so I gave the kids a bath tonight. You're going to be putting Lily to bed 2 nights in a row, so I put Lily to bed tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, stuff like that. I typically make dinner. You typically hang out with the kids in the family room while I'm making dinner. And sometimes they're cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Sometimes it's a wrestling match. Sometimes it's trying to keep them from jumping off the back of the couch onto the couch. Sometimes they just chill and watch TV. Or sometimes mommy's a jungle gym.
Yeah, it kind of just depends. So this is going to be an interesting couple of days.
I love you.
I have a 12-step plan for what I will have to do potentially between now and when you get home. So this is step 1.
Okay. Hit me with it.
So this is the morning wake-up routine. I will have to get up before the kids do. Otherwise, there will potentially be a wild Lily roaming the house.
She knows how to open the gates now.
I did not know that.
I told you this 3 days ago.
Wow.
But she did it multiple times today. She knows what's up.
So I will probably have to wake up
At
least-
7.
at least on
latest.
Wednesday because tomorrow you're here.
Yes, tomorrow I will be here in the morning.
So Wednesday and Thursday, I will need to wake up super early.
Yes.
We'll see if this happens. Because
am I gonna have to call you from Cleveland?
well, I mean, if I don't wake up early, Lily just walks out of her room. She's not in any kind of crib. She knows how to open doors. I guess the concern with that is she just walks in the bathroom and does stuff.
She says hi, Daddy.
Yeah, and she likes to play with the toilet paper in the bathroom. So if I'm in the shower, I can't police that. Also, something that kind of makes us bad parents, I guess. We didn't bolt down our dresser. We bolted down their dressers to the wall.
Oh, yeah.
So it always makes me nervous when Lily's running around our room.
We can just, you can just preemptively put Scooby-Doo on the TV. And then if Lily does come into the room, Scooby-Doo's already going. And she's like, sweet, Scooby-Doo. And she'll just snuggle with the dogs.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Sometimes she gets too handsy.
Yes, she does.
And, she's normally good, but if she's in a weird mood, she might, I don't know, touch Zoe's paw or something. And Zoe may not like that. And if I'm in the shower, I can't police that.
Yeah. Just be stinky. I don't know.
So I guess either I wake up early enough where the chances of Lily waking up are very low, or I wait until your mom comes at 8 and then I take a shower.
At least you have a backup plan.
But assuming that I do wake up early, I will take a shower. Lily will probably be up relatively soon after my shower is done.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to change her diaper / put her on the potty. We're trying to do that after she wakes up now. And then I'll probably get her dressed and get her hair done. I just do a simple ponytail at the top. Super simple, dad too.
If it works.
If she gets up before me, the other option is to put Scooby-Doo on. Plop her in our bed. Put Scooby-Doo on. She usually sits still. And then Elliot will probably wake up soon after, so I'll get him up and ready and get his diaper changed and get him dressed. Because that helps your mom out too.
Yeah.
I always try to do that if I have time.
Sounds like a decent plan. I'm interested to hear how the kids throw wrenches into everything. So usually during the wake up routine, I wake up somewhere, I get out the door somewhere between Joe getting in the shower and Lily causing mayhem. So sometimes I'll put the TV on for Lily and get her in bed. But lately I have been met with a crying Lily at the gate of, no, mommy, you can't go. Stay forever. And then she claims that she wants to play with friends instead of me in the evening. And I'm like, thanks, kid. Love that. But now she can open up the gates. So that child lock on the door to the garage is my last fence in being able to leave the house.
Yeah, that's scary.
Kids are great.
Yeah, so typically when you're here, you take the shower first because you have to actually go somewhere to work.
Mm-hmm. And my goal is to get out the door ASAP so I can get home ASAP. How well that usually works depends. Wednesdays and Fridays, not so much, but that's because I'm helping you get the kids ready to go to your mom's house. So I'll wake up the kids after I get out of the shower and get them ready to go.
Yeah,
while you're getting yourself and the dogs ready.
So the good news for me is that I don't have to take them to my mom's house on Wednesday.
Yeah, that does help you out.
So, you have no idea what time I would get there if you weren't there, but
9:30.
No, I think I could do before 9 for sure. But depending.
Mm-hmm.
I say that. Knock on wood. But I don't have to worry about that. And I also don't have to worry about going to the office.
Yeah, that does help out a lot.
Because I do work from home. So that also helps. But then step 2 would be the breakfast routine. And like I said, I only feed them breakfast or start to feed them breakfast when on days where your mom watches them and your mom comes over here to watch them. 3 days a week, and the other 2 days they go over to my mom's house where she feeds them breakfast. But step number 2, I need to get them 2 cups of milk, 2% for Lily and whole milk for Elliot. They typically eat Cheerios, bananas, and yogurt. And I eat Cheerios and I drink cold brew.
Oh, fancy pants.
Yes. And typically your mom shows up about halfway through breakfast if they're both up. Sometimes Elliot doesn't even wake up. But assuming he does wake up, they will both be dressed and eating.
Yeah.
And then we have to clean them up and clean up all the dishes, wipe the table off, wipe the kids off. And then that's when I typically go to work. And your mom watches them. So 8 hours later, step number 3 is the after work snacks.
Snack time is the best time.
Yes. Hopefully I will be able to get off work a little bit before 5 this week. Typically I sign off between 5 and 5:30. Your mom likes it when I sign off exactly at 5 because she's ready to go home.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm lucky, at least one kid is napping when I get off work. If I'm super lucky, both kids are napping.
That's happened a few times, but it is very rare.
Yeah, so these days, the 2 kids napping scenario is especially rare. So scenario 1, where at least one kid is sleeping, the awake child, which will be most likely Lily, our oldest, will get a snack at the table. And after her snack, I clean everything up and I will turn on either Sesame Street or Barney, because she really likes Barney now, as you mentioned previously. Thanks, Mom.
Both parents. I think they did it about the same time without talking to each other, or they did talk to each other because they have been known to do that. And I'm just like, hey, I remember this VHS tape from when I was young. Now all of the songs are stuck in my head. Thanks, you guys.
So while Lily is watching TV, I will be in the kitchen making dinner. So scenario 2, where this is when both kids are awake, I will give both kids a snack. I'll clean them up, and then I will turn on Barney or Sesame Street. So that brings us to step 4, which is cooking dinner.
DoorDash is your friend?
Well, let's go through the steps and see.
Okay.
All right, so this is the part of the evening when you, Caroline, typically come home. You walk through the door and you assist with the kids.
Play referee. Yes.
But without your assistance, the amount of time allotted to cooking dinner will be dramatically reduced. So I will need to pick something that is super easy and requires little supervision.
Freezer meals are usually good for that, like chicken nuggets and fries. Or not lasagna. Unless it's like, the freezer lasagnas aren't as good as our homemade lasagna. We just did ravioli, but you can do meatballs. You can do barbecue meatballs and fries. That's a thing.
Well, I guess I'll figure it out. So scenario 1 is, this is going back to step 3. Scenario 1 was at least one kid took a nap or is sleeping. I'll hopefully have enough time to put dinner in the oven before Elliot wakes up. He's usually the one sleeping this late. When he does wake up, he will need a diaper change, but then I can put him in his high chair for snack time. And pro tip, Elliot in a high chair equals Elliot out of trouble, at least temporarily.
I was going to say temporarily. He can still make some noise.
So I would say scenario 1 would be the best case.
Yeah.
For me. However, scenario 2, where both kids are awake, it will be probably very chaotic. Lily will most likely be loopy because she didn't nap.
No nap Lily is a blessing and mostly a curse. She's loopy, but she goes to bed real quick after she stops fighting it.
Well, it'll be near impossible to supervise dinner and make sure that the kids don't hurt themselves. Looking at you, Lily, who gives killer hugs, literally.
Yeah.
She likes to get the neck. I mean, she's just naturally...
She's a very loving child.
I mean, she's just naturally tall enough where when she goes to give Elliot a hug, it naturally goes around his neck.
Yeah.
So it's kind of awkward for her to go lower and hug. But we're trying very hard to encourage the torso hug.
Yes, we are.
Also, I'm looking at you, Elliot, who likes to climb on everything, especially the couch.
That is his favorite pastime these days.
And lately, they like to jump off the couch.
It's like skydiving, but shorter.
So, in that situation, me making dinner in the kitchen, a separate room, without supervising them, will be probably near impossible.
So what you need to do is you just need to overnight develop the mom gene of being able to look through walls and see behind yourself. And then you'll be fine.
I mean, even with Sesame Street and or Barney on, they can, I mean, it only works for so long.
Yeah.
They might be quiet for 10 minutes, but they'll eventually start jumping on the couch or whatever.
Yeah.
So in a pinch, there's always DoorDash. And if we are lucky, dinner will be served around 6:30. That is always my goal, even if you are here in town.
And that doesn't always happen, even when I am home to assist with all of the dinner things. But I have faith. You'll be able to feed the children delicious and nutritious meals.
All right. So that brings me to step number 5, which is serving dinner.
Oh, man.
Hopefully I will make something that the kids will eat. Like tonight, for instance, which I believe you mentioned previously. I made cheese ravioli, like the mini raviolis. They were about the size of a $50. Do people know
a little
what
bigger than that?
Do people know what a $50 is?
They were like 2 inches in diameter.
Maybe.
They weren't huge, maybe 1.5 inches. They were small-ish cheese raviolis, but still enough to fill you up.
So I made mini cheese raviolis with pasta sauce and garlic bread, and holy shnikes, they devoured it.
Elliot ate 15 plus ravioli and half plus a slice of garlic bread.
Like, holy moly, I never seen them eat that much. So they must be going through like a growth spurt or something.
Or something.
But this is when things will get tricky because Lily likes to get up randomly in the middle of dinner. I wonder where she learned that from. Maureen. Caroline, you usually block her if she goes clockwise around the table. We have a circular table. Sometimes she gets up and I'm on one side, you're on the other, and we play...
We play monkey in the middle with Lily.
Yeah, and we try to get her to sit back down. So this is when it gets tricky because if she were to get up and go clockwise around the table, I will have to get up and try to corral her to get into a chair.
Yeah.
And lately, she likes to run away from us.
It's a phase. I'm not a fan of it, but it's a phase.
So if she does get up and chasing ensues, I'm going to be outnumbered. Luckily, I mean, she's quicker than me, so she can just go around the table and it'll be very comical, I'm sure, if there was a camera.
Oh, Elliot will be laughing.
Luckily, Elliot will be tied up in his high chair. So if Lily did not take a nap, which was scenario 2, she'll probably be really loopy. And she might misbehave by throwing food or tipping her drink upside down and making a mess. It's possible Elliot could be in a similar mood as well. And I will have to police all of this craziness while eating dinner myself. Whatever that dinner is. I'm a pretty quick eater, though.
You are. You're usually done before me. And worst case scenario, you just do what I had to do the other night, which was eat dinner while the kids were watching their bedtime TV show. It's not ideal, but it works.
All right. So step 6 of 12. I'm going to
Pick up the pace.
pick up the pace a little bit. This is the dinner cleanup part 1, where I wipe everyone down and do a preliminary cleanup of the dishes, meaning put them on the bar behind us, the breakfast bar, I guess it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Wipe the kids' hands and faces, and then release them.
Release the hounds.
I mean, well, speaking of the hounds, step 7 is feed the dogs, which at this point the dogs will probably be whining because they will be hungry.
What? Zoe hungry? Never.
It'll probably be 7 o'clock by now. But I will have to probably put Elliot in his crib while I feed the dogs. And Lily, meanwhile, will probably want to help me, quote, quote. Though she's getting pretty good. She knows all about the scoop, and she knows how to divide the dog food and the puzzle toys. Our dogs are weird. They don't eat from a bowl. They eat from puzzle toys.
We did that. We started them on doing that, and now they won't stop.
Right. So Lily knows all about that, and she likes to help me feed the dogs. So step 8 is pajama time. I'll probably do Elliot first, and then leave him in the crib. Poor guy. And then I'll change Lily and Elliot's room. That way we don't have to leave them.
Mm-hmm.
Step 9 is let the dogs outside. But first, I will bring the kids downstairs in the family room and lock up all the baby gates, which according to you, is meaningless.
It's meaningless for Elliot. It's meaningless for Lily if she wants to help you.
So maybe I will lock Elliot up here and bring Lily with me. But I will turn on Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and then I will run downstairs, let the dogs out, and then quickly let them outside. Or I'll run downstairs with the dogs and quickly let them outside. And that brings me to part 10, which in a perfect world, the kids will be sitting still in front of the TV watching Mickey Mouse Clubhouse while I put the dirty dishes in the dishwasher, throw away all the trash, wipe everything off the table, the counter, and then, if necessary, run the dishwasher. And then step 11, during Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, the kids like to drink a cup of milk, maybe perhaps the leftover from the snack. And finally, step 12, the bedtime routine. After Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, Elliot typically goes to bed first. Typically, he goes down pretty good. pretty quickly as well. And then I will have to lay with Lily in her bed until she falls asleep. If she napped, it might take a little longer for her to fall asleep. If she didn't nap, she will be extremely loopy and cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And she'll try to fight it, but then she'll usually fall asleep pretty quickly after that.
So the key, though, at this point of the night is before you put Lily into her room, you need to have the downstairs mostly cleaned up, and you need to make sure that your phone has some kind of charge, because I will not be here to wake you up to get into bed if you fall asleep with Lily in her room. So you could end up staying the whole night in Lily's room, unless if you wake yourself up and wander back into our bedroom.
That's a good point.
So maybe charge your phone during dinner. So you know that you'll have a charged phone to wake you up in the morning. And always have your phone with you when you're sleeping with Lily.
All right. So if everything goes well, then 1, the house will still be here. And 2, no one will get hurt. Because I made you take down the trampoline. I really hope your mom doesn't go in the closet and try to put it together.
I don't think that she knows how to put it back together or will be able to. It was pretty hard. At the very least, she'll need to ask you for help.
And I will say no, because we have a mini trampoline for the kids.
It's to help wear them out.
And certain people wanted to bring it up to the family room. And I was like, what? It's huge. It's taking up a lot of space.
But it wears them out.
Sure, but they don't take turns. And they jump on each other, and it's bad. I mean, Elliot's only 1. She can't do what she does, what she's been doing. So if we took the trampoline away, hopefully no one gets hurt. But there is still the couch. Elliot likes to climb on the couch, and they both started jumping off the couch. So fun times.
Oh, the new favorite thing to do is to climb up onto the couch on one end, run along the couch, and then jump off on the other end. So that's a thing. They started doing that one today.
Awesome.
Kids are really adorable and find new ways to do things. And you're just like, you weren't doing that last week. Why did you have to start doing this now?
Yeah, so I have to do this 12-step plan 2 nights in a row. So I have to do it Tuesday night and Wednesday night. Is there anything else? Any other tips that you have for me?
No, you got this. You're a good dad. You actively help in taking care of the kids in the house every day.
I mean, the goodness of my dadness is irrelevant.
Just don't let the children gang up on you. Remember, you are bigger and smarter than they are. You got this.
All right. Well, I will report back next week.
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to see what kind of Snapchats and text messages I get and how much beer I will be expected to bring back from Cleveland based on how the week goes. Well, the night.
I mean, if you're going to Great Lakes,
I can hope.
That's literally the only brewery I know in Cleveland.
I know a few because I've heard of them drinking the beers on Shift Beers.
I mean, there's Platform. I think
Isn't Platform Columbus? I don't know. Masthead is in Cleveland, and I forget what other ones I looked at.
There's the big one from Akron. So something with a dog. Like the logo's a dog. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I'll think of it eventually.
3 days later.
Thirsty Dog. I'm talking about Thirsty Dog.
Okay.
That's the big one in Akron. Yeah, I think it's in Akron. Yep. Thirsty Dog Brewing Company in Akron, Ohio.
One of these breweries doesn't take reservations at the end of their name. I'm assuming a lot of people called them trying to get reservations for dinner. Or someone doesn't know how to update Google and just updated their name instead of some kind of description. I guess maybe Platform is Cleveland.
I thought it was. Elevator is.
Ah, yeah, Elevator is Columbus. Okay, Joe. It's time for you to make me laugh.
That's right. It's time for Joe's Dad Joke of the Week, which we are I am going to rag all over Cleveland because
We're Cincinnatians. It's what we do.
we are Cincinnatians and you are going to Cleveland without me.
I'm going to the Mistake on the Lake. I'm sorry.
All right, Caroline, are you ready?
Yeah.
Why did the coffee have a rubbish vacation?
I don't know. Why did the coffee have a rubbish vacation?
It got mugged on the first day.
Oh my goodness.
That had nothing to do with Cleveland.
No, that was a
Alright.
travel-based joke.
All right, so it's a travel-based joke. Okay. But I have more. I have another one. The Cleveland Browns team visited an orphanage today. Did you know this?
I did not know this.
It's heartbreaking to see their sad little faces with no hope, said Jose, age 6.
Oh my goodness.
All right, I have another one.
Okay.
Did you know that right now everyone in Cleveland is taking social distancing very seriously?
They are. Even this late into COVID?
No one is even down by the lake. It's very eerie.
Oh my goodness.
So that does it for this week's show. Thanks so much for listening. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on social media. We are on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. You can find us on all those platforms at Craft Parenting Podcast. You can also get a hold of us via email, which is craftparentingpodcast@gmail.com.
If you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or your podcatcher of choice. Make sure to share the show. It's what helps our show grow. If you'd like to send us stuff, such as fan mail, craft supplies, or sanity, Joe's really going to need some sanity, but it'll be after this episode It'll be before this episode airs, but he'll still need it, so send lots and lots of sanity. We'd have a P.O. box.
All this information is available on our website, which is www.craftparentingpodcast.com.
That's where we post the show notes and some blog posts about some stuff that doesn't make it into the podcast.
And if you want to follow me personally on Instagram, you can follow me at Craft Parenting Joe.
And I am at Caroline Creates Crafts.
And with that, I'm Joe.
And I'm Caroline.
See you next time on the Craft Parenting Podcast.
West Side, West Side.